Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we are not merely discussing missiles streaking across the sky or airstrikes carried out in the darkness of night. We are confronting a defining geopolitical moment, one that has shaken global capitals, rattled financial markets, flooded social media feeds with anxiety, and revived a phrase the modern world hoped it would never hear again. World War III. The United States, Israel, and Iran, three nations bound by decades of rivalry, strategic tension, ideological conflict, and national survival, now stand at the center of global attention once more. What began as coordinated military strikes described as strategic and targeted has rapidly evolved into retaliatory missile and drone launches, creating a cycle of action and counteraction that illustrates how modern conflicts ignite not through formal declarations, but through calculated moves that test resolve and boundaries. Across television screens and smartphone displays, images of illuminated night skies and intercepted projectiles circulate within minutes, fueling speculation. Faster than official statements can clarify the situation. Yet before fear outruns fact, we must pause and examine what this moment truly represents. To understand today's escalation, we must revisit the historical tension that has defined relations between Washington and Tehran since the 1979 Iranian Revolution, an event that fundamentally altered Middle Eastern geopolitics and reshaped alliances. Decades of sanctions, proxy conflicts, cyber operations, intelligence confrontations, and regional rivalries have sustained a fragile balance. Israel, for its part, has long viewed Iran's regional influence and military capabilities as existential threats, shaping its defense doctrines and strategic posture. Over the years, shadow conflicts in Syria, maritime tensions in the Persian Gulf, cyber intrusions and drone strikes have repeatedly raised the question, is this the spark? Until now, each confrontation stopped short of broader war. But this escalation feels heavier because it unfolds in an already unstable global environment, where multiple conflicts simmer and alliances strain under pressure. The intensity of public reaction is amplified by timing, scale, and imagery. Today, information travels not at the speed of diplomatic cables but at the speed of social media posts, live streams, and viral hashtags. World War III trends globally within hours, illustrating how digital amplification can heighten anxiety before full context emerges. Yet a trending phrase does not equate to a global war. While military analysts characterize the strikes as calculated displays of deterrence rather than steps toward total warfare, the risk lies in miscalculation, in a drone interpreted as escalation, in a missile landing beyond its intended target, in rhetoric misunderstood. History teaches us that large-scale wars often erupt not solely from intention, but from underestimated consequences and communication breakdowns. Within the United States, political reactions reflect familiar divisions. Some leaders defend the strikes as necessary, demonstrations of strength and commitment to allies. Others warn of entanglement in prolonged regional conflict reminiscent of past Middle Eastern wars. Public sentiment mirrors this divide, shaped by memories of Iraq and Afghanistan, and by broader concerns about global stability. Israel's security calculus is driven by survival imperatives forged through decades of existential threat, while Iran must balance domestic expectations of strength with the strategic danger of provoking overwhelming retaliation. Each actor is signaling resolve while attempting to avoid crossing red lines. Though in crisis, red lines can blur quickly. Globally, the consequences ripple outward. Energy markets fluctuate in response to potential disruptions in the Strait of Hormuz, a choke point for a significant portion of the world's oil supply. Airlines adjust routes, insurers reassess risk, and financial markets brace for volatility. Even nations far removed geographically feel the tremors of uncertainty. Yet despite heightened tensions, We are not currently witnessing the sustained, multi-theater combat that defines a world war. Escalation is incremental, not binary. It advances through steps rather than leaps. The danger lies in the chain reaction that could follow if deterrence fails. In moments like this, the psychology of fear can magnify perceived threats beyond immediate reality. Responsible leadership demands measured assessment, clear communication, and diplomatic engagement behind closed doors. Even adversaries maintain channels during crises, because war often begins when communication ends. Citizens, too, bear responsibility in the digital age to seek verified information and resist the spread of misinformation that can inflame tensions further. Beyond the headlines lies a deeper question about the kind of global order we seek, one governed by unchecked force or by balanced deterrence coupled with diplomacy. The coming days are critical. Limited strikes may remain contained. Diplomatic intervention may cool tensions, or miscalculation could draw additional regional actors into confrontation. The world stands at a hinge moment where decisions, not hashtags, will determine the path forward. We must resist both complacency and panic, acknowledging that crises can de-escalate even as we recognize the gravity of the situation. Strength and diplomacy are not opposites, but complementary tools in preserving stability. Tonight, as flashes of military power light parts of the Middle East, humanity collectively watches and waits, aware that sometimes one strike raises 100 questions, and that the answers, shaped by restraint or escalation, will echo for generations.